Today I'm going to show you how I make my curly girl hair gel at home. It's super simple, super cost effective, and for me the most important part is it's all natural. I know what's in it. If you use the curly girl method, which I highly recommend if you're not familiar with that, to check it out. There's amazing Facebook groups. I have a bunch of videos. There's lots of resources that you can learn more about that. But in that, they have a very strict protocol of the products that you can use and can't use when you are doing the curly girl method. And what I found when I started learning about it was the can use products, there are a lot of, to me, no chemicals that I am not willing to use in my hair, on my body. And it was really hard to find an all natural product that would work well with my curls that didn't cost $1 million and that I was willing to use without the chemicals and the added fragrance and things like that. So when I discovered that I could make it myself, literally with 2 ingredients, and that it works amazing and costs maybe 50 cents, I was all in. So I'm going to show you that. Like I said, it only requires 2 ingredients. I typically use about 5. So I'm going to show you both. You can keep it as super simple as you want to, or you can add some extra things like I choose to do. But your base is a 1/2 cup of whole flax seeds. So you can get these wherever, pretty much any grocery store I think has them. I get them at like our natural health food store, and they come in like the bulk section, so I can just scoop out as many as I want. So I do a 1/2 cup for the batch that I make. Of course, you can adjust if you want to make a smaller or a larger batch. And then 4 cups of water. That's literally your 2 ingredients. And I know most recipes don't even count water, so really 1. But that's what you need. A 1/2 cup of flax seeds, 4 cups of water, and you're going to want to stir that because the flax seeds will stick quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on like medium high on my stove, that's like a 7, and get it to a pretty good boiling point. You do want to be paying pretty good attention to it because once it starts to boil, it gets really frothy and foamy, and I know from very much experience if you're not keeping an eye on it and you let it boil over, 1, you've just wasted some hair gel, and 2, it's very sticky because it's hair gel. So it gets stuck in your stove pretty good. So I recommend keeping an eye on it. So I'm going to go ahead and let this boil, and then I'll show you what it looks like once you need to really start keeping an eye on it. All right, so here we are. I've got the heat off. It's pretty thick. Kind of looks like a little gel. Well, it's not. So now we are going to strain it. If you have followed me for long, you know I used to do this in a much more difficult manner. And then I since discovered a much easier way, which is why I'm redoing the video, so I can show you how much easier this can be. So now I'm just going to get a metal strainer, sieve, whatever you call it. I'm going to use my same glass measuring cup that I used for my water earlier. Put that in there. And then I'm just going to strain this through here. It is thick, so I'll kind of help it along at the end. But most of it will just pour right through there, no problem. And of course, catch your flax seeds because you're not going to want those in there. You just want the nice, lovely gel that they made. So after I get it all out, then I'm just going to kind of stir around. I really don't need to. It all pretty much went through there anyway. But we'll stir it around a little bit to get those last little bits. And then, so that's all you need. You have hair gel now, and it's amazing. It's so moisturizing. It's good for your hair. It still allows your hair to move. As you can see, it's not like crispy, sticky. It's just very smooth, but gives you some definition and hold, which is what I want. So that's all you have to do to get that goal. But what I choose to do after it cools down, I'm not going to do it quite yet, but after it cools down, I'm going to add some of my favorite essential oils. This is twofold for me. 1, I like the scent, and 2, these are actually oils that are nourishing for your hair. Again, the choice is yours, but what I like to do, I do cedarwood, lavender, and rosemary. I believe that all of those are good for my hair. I have seen better hair growth from using them. And so I just do a few drops of each. I'll add it in here. And then I actually use my hand mixer, like that thing, however that is. I think it's called a hand mixer, but not the beater kind. Anyway, mix it up. Mix in the oils however you choose. And then I just take this and I pour it into individual containers. And then I freeze it. How amazing is that? So I'll put one of the containers in my fridge and I use it. You want to keep it in your fridge. I did not mention that earlier. Keep it in the fridge because it's food, basically. It's flaxseed. So if you leave it out, it will spoil. It will go rotten. So I keep one in the fridge that I use every day, every morning. And then I usually end up with like 3 or 4 bottles. So the others I put in the freezer. They freeze perfectly. And then when I run out in the fridge, I get one out of the freezer. Because they're not going to last forever. I usually go about 2 weeks before I run out of a bottle. And that's about the same time that they would start to spoil, even in the fridge. So that's kind of a perfect process for me. 2 weeks, I get another bottle out of the freezer. Another 2 weeks, I get another bottle out of the freezer. So I end up making a batch like this about once a month. All right, so our gel has cooled down now. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my oils, mix it up, and bottle it up. So I just thought I would show you. I am not a measurer, so I do about 5 drops each of the oil, but that's definitely not required. And you can also use different oils. So sometimes I'll switch it up. I like these because they are good for hair, but sometimes I'll just do ones that I like the smell of. I've done jasmine before. I've done eucalyptus and peppermint before because I just really like that combo. But this is my like good for my hair combo. So now this is the blender I was talking about. I don't know what this is called. Just like so. And the main reason I do that is to incorporate the oils, but also because it is so gelatinous that when you put it in the bottle, you're more likely to get like large clumps of it when you pour it out if you don't mix it well first. So the mixing kind of helps that process just go a little more smooth. So for bottles, I just reuse my old containers. If you want to be fancy and buy stuff, feel free. This is actually a Thieves dish soap container. I like it because it just has that nice squeeze top. It's a little bit thinner, so you can get just easier flow on that. This is an old Young Living conditioner bottle. I use those as well. My favorite, however, is the Thieves hand sanitizer. Problem is, this stuff lasts forever, so it takes me a while to build up a stash of these bottles, but definitely save them. I love the size. This size is like perfect for what I was talking about earlier about it goes bad after a couple of weeks. So like if I filled this bottle, it would last me too long for my own hair. If you have a lot of hair and you're using a lot of gel, maybe not. But for me, this would, if full, this would last me too long and it would go rotten. So when I do this one, I usually only fill it half to 3/4 full. But this one I can fill all the way and it's like perfect. So that's my favorite. It's not clean yet though, so I'm not going to use it right now. So I'm just going to show you, I just use a funnel. My oil's in here, my gel is in here. And so now I'm just going to fill it. You can see it's super gelatinous still, kind of in those thick chunks like I was talking about. Once it cools, and especially I feel like the ones that I've frozen, they come out in just a better consistency once you go to use them. So I'll do that, and then I'll put them in the freezer. We're good to go. I won't put any in the fridge right now because I still have a little bit left. So I'll wait a couple days and use what I have. I hope that you find that useful.